Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your January 2025 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. Apollo's behind us, and many of you have been asking how he's doing. He's recovering. He still needs his collar on for a little bit, but he's sleeping, holding some space, and keeping us company as we do this reading today. Much like Apollo, I needed a little bit of time this month as well, just to rest and recover. I've been dealing with some health issues as well, but I'm feeling better. So thank you for giving me that time so that I could focus and give you the best reading possible. Let's get into the forecast for today. This is going to help you navigate all the twists and turns and opportunities in the month ahead. And you know I like to start with some channeled messages, so let's do that. Today, as I was meditating on your sign, I kept seeing a beautiful lotus blossom. And to me, this is one of my favorite spiritual symbols because it basically has to push through all the muddy layers in a body of water in order to reach the surface and blossom. And it's a great symbol for many of us, like the challenges that we've all been going through. Your sign in particular, it feels like the past month or two might have been a little bit challenging in some aspects, but this month is the payoff. This is when I saw the lotus blossom opening up. Now, clarity is one of the key things because you have to get through some of that, like I said, the murkiness. This can represent like Seven of Cups, a moment where you're trying to look through the clouds and figure out what is it that I want to sort of like put my focus on this month. So if you need clarity, ask. If there's anything in your life that represents clutter or a block, this is a month to really address that so that you can move forward. So another card that would be appropriate here could be the moon, because it's really encouraging you to look at the things that you would otherwise sweep beneath the surface. So let's look at opportunities for growth and expansion. We'll identify any sort of potential blocks and help you get past them. And let's go ahead and give the cards a shuffle and see what's in store. Please take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine that the sun is shining directly overhead, creating a perfect circle of light around your body. In this circle of light, you are safe and you are connected to Source. Let's call in angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, and see what January has in store. We actually got a volunteer on this one. All right, let's begin with the Catalyst card, and we have beautiful representation here of the moon. Let's turn it up right so we can read it better. It says Grandmother Moon, and the focus on this is cycles. We also see representation here of birthing, releasing, creating. And for some of you, there may be actually pregnancy. So if that's coming through right now, this is just validation to take care of yourself because this card was reversed. And instead of the focus solely being on the baby, it would be the mother. For everybody else, just like an Empress card reversed, it can represent holding on to an idea, holding on to something that doesn't serve you in your life anymore. And it's really about letting that go so that you can fully lean into a new cycle of creation, something that you've been wanting to, embark upon, but it's almost like the anchor is holding you back. So we're letting go of something, allowing ourselves to try something new, not being afraid of that sort of two-way door of death and rebirth when we look at like the transformation card, for instance. So this can also be a time to make or break a cycle, much like the Eight of Cups. So as we look at everything here, I think one of the things to keep in mind is Are you ready? Are you ready to step into something new and let something go? Because I think it's a combination of the two. And we get that here with this. The Two of Pentacles is typically making a choice. Just quickly looking at the overarching trajectory, I'm loving Six of Cups, Ace of Cups, and Six of Swords. It does feel like some new relationship energy could be entering into your life. We also have Two of Cups here. There could also be something that is laborious that you're kind of tired of, and again, that's exiting out. So I feel like this is almost a little bit of housekeeping that you're doing this month. Auditing, feeling like, is this where I need to be? So much like the sort of mud and murkiness that the lotus blossom has to go through, I'm going to help you figure out what the murk is and what it is that you can kind of push to either side. Let's begin with the center card, the Ace of Swords reversed. With this in the center, it's basically encouraging you to take some action, to speak up. If you need to revise something, now is the time to get out the pen, circle it, and say, I need clarity here. I was talking about the Seven of Cups way back at the beginning. This is where you basically cut through the mist and say, I need to understand that better, or I think I want this. Getting clear in your own thoughts and clarifying other people's instructions. So by the way, if you have a teacher, instructor, or boss, and they just aren't making it clear for you, this card comes through, and you can kind of see it cutting through the clouds here, and it's saying, that doesn't make sense, or do you mean this? And that's a simple way to get to the bottom of things. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change your direction. This card is a little bit of both. It's also saying just get it in writing and allow yourself to download or record whatever sort of creative thoughts are coming forth without the need to be perfect. The reason we want to basically make sure that we're not going towards those perfectionist tendencies is contained within the crossing card here. So the Four of Cups, I love how they did this. Right behind the person, there's this ace that's kind of floating, but they're focusing on only what they can see or what is expected. So this is about the unexpected, and sometimes that comes through experimentation. Sometimes that comes through imperfection. Artists will freely admit this sometimes. You intend to do this, and suddenly you're like, well, what if I do this? Or you mess up a little bit in the painting and it looks better, and you're like, oh, okay, let's go with that. Same thing with writing or music. Maybe an instrument isn't tuned correctly, or there's nothing else available, so you pick up another instrument and it sounds better. So happy mistakes. It's not a mistake. And it's not a coincidence. It's basically a synchronicity. But you need to allow yourself to discover that through the happy mistake. So just stay open to exploring new things. Allow yourself to get a draft out. And once you step away from it or have someone else look at it, they may be able to come forth and say, hey, how about this? Or you need to keep doing that. That sounds great. That looks great. There's more than one way to approach this. Now, interestingly enough, it's a little hard to see on this particular interpretation, but sometimes there's a sense of frustration with the Four of Cups. Why hasn't it happened yet? Why is that person getting it and not me? What's wrong? Instead, you could say, what am I missing? How else can I do this? Is there something bigger, better, or brighter? And that's what this card and this illustration is basically encouraging you to think along those lines. Let's move on to the karmic lesson that many of you have already overcome because we are already into this month. But if you're still dealing with it, you tuned in at the right time. The Five of Wands is sometimes energy that is not being used wisely. We can see it in this card. They're all pushing in the same direction, but they're not making progress. The key is collaboration and cooperation. There might be something in your life where it's hard to get this energy going. It could be your family, it could be a relationship, it could be your job. Whatever it is, the encouragement here is to lead by example. The next card in this suit is the Six of Wands, and that is leadership and success, but it's also setting the tone, getting people to focus on what matters. So karmically speaking, not allowing yourself to get wrapped up in this is going to be really important. And if there is a person, place, or activity in your life where you just feel like you're spinning your wheels in the mud, speaking of the mud, because we were talking about the lotus blossom, that's not where you should put your time and energy. There's a better investment somewhere else. If you're feeling uninspired, it's time to get clear on the focus. Why are you doing it? How is this connected to your overarching goal or dream or aspiration or life purpose? And if you don't have a reason why you're doing it, then again, it's time to collect your thoughts and your energy and focus on something else. And that is a nice segue, folks. Now we're looking at recent past. This is probably what many of you are dealing with around the time that this is published. You might feel like you're being pulled in too many directions. I love that they almost have this, supernatural deity-like figure where there's multiple hands coming out of them. Sometimes we feel like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I could clone myself and be here and be there? In reality, in our sort of three-dimensional world, we really have to make a choice, and this is representing that choice. Work smarter, say no. That center card is about saying yes to one thing and saying no to another. Whenever justice or the Ace of Swords is reversed, it's important to create kind of like a line in the sand and say, I can do this, I can't do this, or hold people to account. We discussed this and you're doing that instead. That can help you from spinning your wheels. That's going to help you have more energy, because if you just focus on one thing that matters most, you can succeed. It's like the magician. The magician can't always use all four elements at once. Discernment is the key to success and graduating on to the high priestess. Take one of these things, put your energy and intention into it, complete it. Then if you have time and energy left over, you can do the other one. But the two together are spreading you too thin. It could be one too many relationships, one too many activities, one too many thoughts. So meditate, breathe, focus on the one where you feel resonance, connection, intrigue, passion, and that's the pentacle, that's the energy point that you're going to focus on the most, okay? And just create better balance in your life. We see him almost on a tightrope here, so it represents finding work-life balance and joy in your life and good health and good sleep. So find that perfect balance. It's important because you're starting to attract new people. We have the Six of Cups and Two of Cups. Like attracts like. So if you start to get into that place where you know your boundaries, you respect others, you work well with others, you are discerning in your time and energy, you find like-minded people and really something that could be able to go the distance here. Six of Cups. It's such a great energy when you have the pleasure and privilege of finding it in your life. It can be a lover, a best friend. It can be someone with whom you just have this indescribable and almost otherworldly connection. Sometimes it's past life, right? So you were friends or lovers or siblings in a past lifetime, and now you have this immediate sort of like connection on the heart level where it's fun. It's not as much work. So if you're looking for love this month, you have a chance to find this. If you're just looking to network, even for business, people are drawn to you. And you may even be able to stumble upon some of these great souls that you connected with previously. So the one shining light so far is this beautiful Six of Cups, where it feels like if you allow yourself to get out there, and by the way, this is a playful, childlike card, so get out there and have fun, you can make a great connection. And that makes it worth going through the murkiness, the mud, all of the sort of clouds that might have been much of last year, or even just recently if you've been feeling like, what am I doing? What's next? There is a purpose. So keep pushing, and then we see that you're not alone either. So if you felt like you were doing a lot of this solo, it doesn't feel like it has to be that way anymore. You have 3 relationship cards that represent a person coming in or highly attractive energy. Six of Cups, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups. This is where your headspace is. This is in the near future. This is possibilities. It's good, folks. Even if you're not looking for love, cups, chalices, they basically represent a receptacle in which opportunities, abundance, and other things can flow. So stay open to receiving. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest, this is the month that it can come forth, or at least begin to break through. The ace is in the upright position. I look for this in relationship spreads. I look for it in just general health and happiness spreads. You have to get your ace upright. Otherwise, when you go looking to other people, they're going to you might be trying to find someone to fill your cup. You have to fill your own cup, basically. Then you find someone else who has their cup filled. Ideally, that's when the Two of Cups comes forth, but it looks like the other person may not be quite as ready yet. So if you are trying to manifest, patience is key. Keep working on yourself and know that when the time is right, then this alliance can happen, okay? Otherwise, when we're looking at this, it looks like there could be some good news. You could be manifesting a new job, a great opportunity, or you're just hitting this new stride where you're feeling better, because this can also be happiness and joy. So I actually quite like what I'm seeing so far. Now we have 2 cards that stuck together representing you. We're going to start with the one that was beneath the surface, the Knight of Cups. Yet another sort of receiving energy. So I do feel like all things are going in the right direction. I think it's important to be discerning, because this doesn't quite match the resonance of the work you've done. So don't take the first opportunity that comes past your path if it doesn't feel right. If you feel like this isn't right, then trust your intuition on that. Or advocate for a little bit more. Sometimes it just requires asking, okay? Anyway, the Knight of Cups is ready to receive, is ready to also put out into the world something exciting. So that's why when I was looking at this Moon card that was reversed, it's sort of saying, whatever it is you're trying to do, you're so much closer. You may even be there, but you're doubting, can I do it? You can do it. Look at this school of fish they look like koi fish that are around this particular night. So we get also within this leadership. People are drawn to you. They're ready to follow you. A knight can lead people into battle or, again, into a new cause or passion. So you're coming through pretty strong this month. There is a card that's crossing this. I said I would help you find potential blocks. We just found one. A Page of Wands is good. Typically in the upright position, this is about taking an idea to the next level. It's about great communication skills, the ability to absorb things and apply them. When reversed, it's overthinking. It may not be listening completely. What happens sometimes with the Page of Wands reversed is they expect something and they start to put filters up and they don't necessarily hear, read, or interpret as intended. So you can catch yourself this month if you're feeling emotionally, a little bit more sensitive. If you have too much at stake for something, get a third party, an objective point of view in, so that they can check the assumption, and then also just check your assumption. In a conversation with a loved one, just say, hey, just remind me, did we talk about this? Or I think I heard this, is that right? Same thing in a legal document. You can legitimately just write back and say, does this mean this or something else? Get the clarity that you need before you use that assumption to make a decision. So basically just check in, double check with someone else, and check again. And that's going to help you out. Not to the point that you're doubting yourself, but it's more to make sure that you didn't read something into a situation that didn't need to be there. All right, slow down. As we look at the environment, there could be someone around you that's trying to rush something. A Page of Swords in reverse. This is someone around you that may be critical without a constructive element to it. So if it's just negative speech, tune that out. If it's someone trying to rush something to production or to completion and there's a problem on it, you need to circle it and say, wait a second. Someone's not listening, perhaps, too. They're talking over you. So because it's environmental, it's not from you. So whatever that is, you hit the brakes, make sure that that's cleared up, and you can say no, too. I think it's fascinating that we have mostly upright cards, but all the swords are reversed. Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, Six of Swords. So before rushing forward, ask, listen, and make sure that everybody's being heard too. So if there's a larger conversation, there could be someone that has something to say, but they're afraid to speak up, or they just haven't had a chance. In Hopes, Fears, and Opportunities, we have a card here where someone may be a little too similar and it creates some friction. So for instance, it could be two very highly sensitive people that sometimes get their feelings hurt or wires crossed. Two people that are outspoken to the point that no one's listening. Or two people so intent on leading that nobody's following, and it's like, it's a tug of war. And I think that's what this Two of Pentacles is representing. There has to be give and take in the relationship. Doesn't matter what type of relationship, that's what I'm seeing here is friction and too similar. And so One of the things that we mentioned this month is it's okay to be discerning. You've done a lot of work on yourself. The only other area that you could focus on, as I'm kind of thinking about this and hearing what's coming forth, is just patience. And also maybe helping the other person see or feel what you're feeling, saying, hey, could we pause for a second? I just want to let you know what's going through my head or how this feels. It's kind of therapy-like, but it can help. And you can just kind of like pepper that in from time to time. I do think we can get this into the upright position. The fact that the first thought that came through is that you're too similar tells me that you can find a place where you can agree on something. It's just a matter of recognizing where that similarity is and then just lean on the strengths so that you're not kind of like misinterpreting something. All right? Be discerning if you're looking for love or an opportunity and it doesn't feel like it's good enough. Like I said, you've done a lot of work. You've pushed through all those layers like the lotus blossom. Now is your time to really shine. So don't sell yourself short. You're definitely worth all of that and then some. So find someone who can embrace that and who can celebrate the work that you've done. Okay. Now let's look at your outcome, which is a very positive card. So we have the Six of Swords coming through. Typically, this represents going to the next level. It can be moving up, moving on, moving out, much like the World card. But there is a travel element to this one as well. So some of you may need to move in order to grow. So sometimes when you're starting a family, the house that you're in is too small. Or maybe you feel like you've gotten everything that you need to out of, for instance, like a degree that you're studying. Or if you're in a workplace, you're like, I've done it all. I need to move on. So I get that. And it feels like for some of you, you've been waiting maybe 1 or 2 months longer than you need to, and now Spirit's coming through and saying, it's time. It's time to move into that new direction. The question always with this card is, are you the one that's steering the ship, or are you the one that's being taken somewhere else by someone else? So are you the driver or the passenger? Let me restate that into clearer terms. I think it's time to be the driver. I think it's time to take the initiative and say, I want this, or I don't want this, or let's go in this direction. To that end, let's go ahead and expand this forecast. We're going to take a deeper dive into health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning with the energy of health, which is your mind, your body, and your spirit. The oracle card here, actually we could take almost at face value. It says, blessed sight. So some of you may just be focusing on going to the eye doctor, the ophthalmologist, optometrist, and saying, hey, what's going on here? This is also about making sure that you're feeling seen. So from an emotional level, do you feel valued and appreciated? It's also saying, what are you focusing on? And there's so many different ways that we can look at this, because sight, it's multifaceted, right? It's what we see, but it's also what we perceive, and it's how much weight we give that vision or that insight. And as we're looking at all of the cards here, the Four of Cups can also represent something that you're not seeing. So this is where getting a second opinion could be really, really good. And that makes a lot of sense because we have 2 cards that have 2 on them. The 2 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups. So making sure that you're getting maybe Eastern and Western medicine, or conservative and a slightly more open-minded approach. And you'll find the happy medium that works for you. You may be able to blend a little bit from both points of view. All right, let's look at some other stuff here. Some of you are just tired of working so much, so hard, or you might just be tired of the work environment. We'll look more at that when I go into wealth, but I'm just giving you an acknowledgement that if the environment feels toxic or if you're ready to move on, the cards are also representing that. What I'm seeing here again is an encouragement not to overextend yourself in time, energy, or money, because that will affect your health. Focus on balance in your life. If you're feeling any issues with the inner ear or something else going on, obviously work with a health care professional on that. Simply saying no can make you feel better. So going to the emotional side, these cards are about saying no and holding your ground and having really good boundaries. An acknowledgement also that some of you want to focus more on either being with your family, starting a family, or spending more time with your friends. This is a card of childhood and playfulness, and however that might be lacking in your life, it's coming through this month saying, don't forget about this part of you. Because we have so many cards around water and we're looking at just general health, making sure that you're not either dehydrated or overdoing it when it comes to fun and like drinking too much caffeine, alcohol, etc. Everything in moderation. And that's pretty much everything for health. So let's go ahead now and move on to the next category, which is wealth. Your oracle card for this is really interesting. It reads, let's read it in the upright position, suppression, calibration, and flow. So it feels like since it's reversed, many of you are starting to understand that I can't hide who I am. You're not going to suppress your hopes, your fears, or your dreams. You're also not going to let someone suppress or snuff out your light. This is a time to really be truly who you are. Calibration. Something might be off. You might be feeling like I'm constantly trying to get my footing here. So this is a chance to find solid ground. And most importantly, flow. You're going to follow the flow of energy, the flow of your inspiration. You're not going to fight where energy wants to take you. If a door is closed, try another. If a door is open, go through it and see where it might lead. All right, we're going to now take a look at all of the categories that are underneath the wealth umbrella. We're going to look at those who are currently working. Then we're going to take a look at those that are either an entrepreneur or own their own company, followed by job seekers, then students, and then retirees. Let's get started with those of you that currently have a job. I quite like the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card that represents independence. We can see here that also it's abundance. The one thing that you want to be aware of is sometimes working too much in a silo. So in other words, maybe that is your comfort zone. You're like, I just need to put on my headphones. I just need to go over here and do my own thing. There is a chance this month, because we had so many partnership cards, to get things done more effectively, make more of an impact, possibly be more successful when and if you allow yourself to partner up. And just to work more and be more transparent with what's being done. There's no doubt in my mind that you are just one step away from that Ten of Pentacles success. But it feels like the opportunity this month really is to work with others and let them into the energy space. That's going to help you get to the next level. Some of you have really been focusing on saving up for a future expense, for retirement, or you're trying to build the finances. It makes a lot of sense because of that Two of Pentacles in the recent past. So either you're recovering from maybe spreading yourself too thin, or it's just been something karmically, energetically that you've been wanting to overcome. And remember, this is a month to make and break a cycle. So I do feel like you're right on track for all of that. And again, I just really love this card here, which is your ability to work well with others, possibly to surprise yourself and surprise other people with this partnership capability that's coming through. So allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone. There could also be work-related travel. Even if you don't want to do it, it could open doors. So keep an open mind. There is some sort of an opportunity that's coming, and it initially feels a little agitating or out of your comfort zone, but that's where you're going to succeed this month, basically, is when you step outside of what's expected and the same old, same old. You're breaking your own sort of typical cycle, which is good. All right, for those that have their own business, you can't get much better than the Three of Pentacles. What I see for some of you is long overdue recognition. There may even be like good reviews or maybe an article that's printed online or in a newspaper, and it's going to generate some business. This is also about putting things into circulation or publication. Typically, Three of Pentacles, it can be something written like a book, but this can also be you deciding to associate yourself with a teacher, mentor, or speaker role. So maybe you're going to start a seminar series or have some sort of an offsite where people can come and see you speak. Whatever this is, I like it for you, and I think that even if you're not considering it, that's something that you might want to explore. So getting something in print form and putting it out there, like a curriculum or a written textbook or, again, maybe a how-to book. Allowing yourself to be more accessible through seminars, webinars, special events. All of this could generate some new revenue flows for you in the year to come. Generally speaking, things are going in the right direction. This could also represent a very good first quarter of the year for you. I like what I see. Before moving on, I did want to mention Six of Swords. Because it's reversed, there could be an opportunity that you're missing by not putting either your marketing or your product or your just general message out into another part of the world. This is the first step towards globalization. Like the World card is the ultimate for that, but the Six of Swords is taking it one sort of city, state, country, or province at a time and slowly building upon that. And much like I was saying, getting out there and exploring and allowing yourself to be seen is the next step to your success. All right, let's move on to job seekers. Seven of Pentacles. So for some of you, there is pressure. Pressure, you're looking at the savings account or you're looking at time and you're feeling crunched because the Seven of Pentacles can be impatience or that fixation on I need more and I need it now. So I'm acknowledging that, but I'm saying also look beyond it. And there's a lot of opportunities out there right now with the Seven of Pentacles, growth opportunities. So the ideal job may not satisfy every single bucket list item, but it should satisfy the part where you feel like I like this group of people, or I like the company in general, or I like the job. There has to be that piece. It feels like the financial one is the one where there's room to grow, and it might be 20 or 30% off of what you want because of the number on this card. But as long as there are opportunities to grow, expand, and it doesn't take forever, it might be worth looking at. So that's what I see here is it's not necessarily even a step down. It just feels like this company may not pay as well as others. So there are a lot of different things that equal a worthwhile opportunity. It can be, like I just mentioned, great culture, environment, great learning potential, and great growth potential. And if those elements are there and you feel good about it, it might be worth that leap. If not, negotiate. Let's say you have a contract in front of you. I just gave you the number. It might be 20 or 30% too low. So you want to go to the table and make sure that you're grounding it in actual research and best practices, but say, hey, I've done research. I've talked to other people. I've talked to people that work here. This seems like it's not within the realm of what I would expect, and put out there the number that you expect. So you can negotiate. Might take a couple back and forths. And again, just don't shoot for a number that's ridiculous. You want to ground it in something that you've done the research on, and that is going to help you get what you deserve, okay? Can you find something? Yes. You may need to go beyond your normal comfort zone when it comes to geographical locations. Definitely work the network. Six of Cups, Two of Cups. Those are friends. That can be family and loved ones. And it may just be one connection away. So if you know someone who knows someone, it's who you know, not just what you know this month. And also your ability to just vibe with someone on an interview is what wins you the interview. So however you can get the face-to-face is going to be really important. Let's move on to students. Take care of yourself. The Empress card in reverse is actually pretty good. It's showing me that you're mastering what you're trying to focus on, but there's a lot of demands in your court. Push back when you can. There could also be a teacher or maybe even your advisor, and they're just pushing you too much, or your parents. So don't let that pressure take away the progress that's being done. I like what I see here, but these cards can be great, but they can also be just a lot, like a lot of people in your business. So if you need a little bit of space, this card is showing that's what's necessary. And pick and choose what works for you. This is your life. This is your trajectory. You have to, maybe even if you have like a double major, double minor, this is saying kind of make it leaner and more focused, because you just might be putting too much on your plate. The semester is fresh. It's new. We're just a few days in. This is published at the beginning of January. You can always make some changes. I think it's about a week or two. So if you need to make those changes now, please do that. All right, let's move on to retirees. You can't get much better than the Page of Cups. The focus right now is simple. It should be on joy, exciting opportunities that make you happy. So this could be deciding to take up dance or painting or art. You could also be focusing more on relationships. Fun. You should be having fun and really connecting with this Six of Cups energy. maybe spending a little bit more time with your best friends, with your family, with your grandchildren, with people that just make you feel like this is what life is all about. The joy quotient is where you should be focusing most of the energy. I definitely see that some of you, I feel like everybody this month is feeling the crunch of time and energy. So it isn't always about items. It can be experiences and relationships, and that's the focus for retirees this month. All right, let's move on to love. We already kind of hit on that a little bit because of that Page of Cups, but let's see what else is coming forth here. So the oracle card here is El Moria, and it says, spiritual force field, protective light is surrounding you, you're safe. If any of you were hurt in the past emotionally, someone broke up with you, someone wasn't kind, someone was even maybe mentally abusive or whatever, now this is coming through saying that cycle ends now. It's a decision you make energetically and karmically. This is about making and breaking a cycle. So many of you have just decided, enough now. I am worth more than that. I'm not going to allow someone to make me feel less than. I'm not going to put myself in an unsafe situation. And it really is focusing on creating people that you can trust, engaging in activities that make you feel safe, and really just putting those boundaries up. Of course, we can take it at face value too. One of the things that you can do in meditation is really focus on this feeling of being protected, calling in your angels and guides, imagining, a field of mirrors around you, pushing back any energy that you don't need. There's so many different techniques. Maybe in the future, I'll do a video on that to kind of help you with spiritual protection. It's something that's really important. But for now, just meditating and feeling that sense of I'm safe, I'm protected, and I'm ready, that raises your frequency and that gets you one step closer to, again, meeting people that have done the same work. So clearer, cleaner energy as well. All right, let's drill a little deeper into this category. We're going to take a look at those of you that are in a relationship, and then those of you that are seeking one, and then finally, those of you that are happily single. We're going to start off with those of you that are currently in a relationship. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It's pressure to meet up to expectations. If you're married, they're asking, when are you going to have a kid? If you're not married, when are you going to get married? You can be in a long-term relationship and not actually go through the, signing on a contract. So pressure to conform is the first thing that comes through. It's no one's business what you and your partner want to do. If you're happy, if you're loving, if you're consenting to all the same things, like they can just mind their own business. But it's hard sometimes when it's parents and grandparents. And by the way, it could be the grandparent level. And they're focusing on this. Or a mom saying, I want to be a grandparent. That's their wish. That's their desire. You do not have to feel the pressure. It's not all on you. Let's just put it that way. The other thing here is financial stress, because we are looking at the 10 of Pentacles. Sometimes there's this big expectation, when I get married, when I have a house, when I have a kid, when I do this, then I'll finally be whole and I'll finally be happy. The Ace of Cups is reminding you, you have to be happy going into these things. These are just icing and cherry and sparkles on top of all of it, but they're not the key to happiness. So really focusing on feeling whole and secure and safe within. And then the extension of that would be the partnership and the family that you build. Okay? These are kind of like deeper messages coming forth, but that's what I'm getting. Ultimately, 10 of Pentacles is good. Things could be happening faster than you think. Someone could propose. There could be a surprise birth. You could be moving more towards wealth and opportunity. It could require quick movement and possibly even a physical move. Don't stress out. Things happen when they are supposed to happen. So breathe, ground yourself, and decide, hey, isn't this what I wanted? Aren't I ready for this? And if you are, perfect. If you're not, ask for a little bit of time. Don't rush. For those of you that are looking for love this month, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. She's focusing on other things. So it's a little bit of a reality check from the universe saying, you can find it, but is that where you really want to be putting your time and energy? Some of you want to do personal development, school, work. You might be focusing on saving money. This is also a card making sure that you don't forget about what it is that you want. So as you enter into potential new relationships, make sure that the person knows what your expectation is, whether it's to get married, to have a family, etc. You don't have to do it all on the first date, but it's basically just making sure that you put that sieve out there, and if anything doesn't pass the test, or you need to filter it out, this is the time to be picky and discerning. It could legitimately be an earth sign that wants to come through. This earth sign needs or wants, though, a little bit. Just like I'm saying, you may need or want things. So make sure that there is enough similarity, and also that it's not so close to you, this person, that you guys are clashing a little bit. What I do see here is a chance for a deep connection. Yes, you can find love. You have many options. We have a Knight of Cups, we have a Page of Swords, we have a Page of Wands, almost too many options. So when I get this many, that's where the murkiness and the Seven of Cups that we talked about at the beginning really starts to come through. And I think that it's important to ground yourself, clear your time and schedule, and be picky. The good news is you can be picky. We have a lot of cups, and the Knight was upright. So I would focus on water signs that might be coming through this month, and really focus on making sure that there's mutual, not just a mutual spark, but like commonalities in goals and interests, and that you can carry on an easy conversation, since most of the swords were reversed. All right, finally, moving on to happy, single and happy, we have the Five of Swords. So this is really just avoiding having to explain yourself to everybody else. There's always someone in your life that feels like they can do something better, or they have an opinion. And now that we're on social media all the time, it feels like sometimes those opinions just get pushed into our face because it's coming through on our watch or our phone, which is why when I do this reading, everything's on Do Not Disturb and I'm focusing on you. But there needs to be points in your life too where you're just not tuned into that. The Five of Swords is someone who doesn't want to hear or see what you're doing. That's why we kind of have this, it almost looks like a mummy, right? Because they're blindfolded and they're kind of cut off from what it is that you're trying to say. So I feel like don't waste your time, don't waste your breath, and also avoid the inner saboteur, because Five of Swords energy can sometimes just be us talking ourselves in or out of something, saying, well, I'm not good enough, and this is all there's going to be, and I better do this. So don't go down that path. Everything that I've seen this month is really indicating the contrary, which is you've done the work. It's time to focus on expansion and partnership and friendship, and we're not going to let this inner saboteur come through and hold you back from the growth and expansion that otherwise wants to present itself. Moving on to destiny, we have get your brave on, and that's kind of in alignment with what I've just saying just a moment ago. Be brave, be bold, take a leap of faith, be that star power energy that I know you are, and go for it. This card was reversed. It's easier said than done. You may find that it's easier to hang out with an extrovert. They can get you out of your shell. They can help you have some fun and open up a little bit. And maybe there's been too much focus on money and work and other things. So I feel like getting out there, being brave, and allowing yourself to try new things, that's where the big opportunity for growth is this month. All right, as always, I like to open it up to a final question. So this can be anything that you still need a little bit of guidance on. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards and see what Spirit has to say. So just silently ask the question. Let's see what the answer is. It's a great one. We have the 10 of Cups. Surprise, surprise, yet another Cups card. So 6 of Cups, Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups. All that's missing is the Lovers. If you asked me a yes or no, it's a yes, ... but do it for you. Because once again, we have the pressure of social spheres coming in. 10 of Cups can be family, friends, and loved ones. And it's a lot sometimes because we want to make all of them happy. It's human instinct and desire just to be a pleaser, right? So please yourself and open yourself up to receive love, abundance, and opportunity in the highest forms. And I love that we have 2 twin stars, basically. That's how I view. I don't really look at twin flames. I look at that twin star energy, someone who's in the same resonance as you. You have a chance to bring in some sort of elevated partnership this month. Keep me posted this month in the comments and let me know. To that end, that's the end of this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, comment. Let me know what you're deciding possibly to move on towards since we had the 6 of Swords. Or let me know what's coming through in the realm of partnerships or how you're finding your balance this month. Additionally, if you haven't never subscribed, you're brand new, this is a chance to do it. Or if you've watched a long time and never subscribed, please do that and then hit the like button. You can also follow me on other social media platforms. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. I'm also on emerging platforms like Blue Sky, where it's nicholasashbaugh.com. Also, that's the name of my website, so you can go there if you need more information. To show some additional support, you can give back with super stickers, super chat, and memberships. And just a quick reminder that I don't provide private readings, nor do I reach out in direct messages. So if you see any of that, you know it's not me. Stay safe. And that, my friends, is everything. Let's see if Apollo's behind me, and then we'll wrap up. He is still holding some space. We'll give him a little pat on the head, and then I'll stop for today. Hey, buddy. Who's a good boy? Yes, I know. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being the absolute best part of what I do here on YouTube. I appreciate your time, your energy. I know you have a lot of places that you could go here on YouTube, and you chose to sort of hang out here. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Take care. I'll see you soon.